Welcome to semifinal number 2 of the U15AAP Provincials. This game features the Bedford Blues and the Halifax Hawks.
Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? How this is gonna go. Touch me and you'll never be alone. Island breeze and lights down low.
We are here, folks, but Jeff is just having this. Let's see, man. Jeff's just talking with the ref crew a little bit while he gets settled in. Welcome back for the second semifinal game, as the old man who types very slow gets his iPad set up, so he's got all the names listed. Puck drop's about to happen. Halifax is going to win that face-off into their own zone and carry it out. Yep, up to 0. There you go, bud. Welcome
Hello,
in.
folks, and thank you to my partner for filling for me. Well, I did took care of some technical details. The Wi-Fi isn't great in the main part of the building.
Don't blame the Wi-Fi. It's your slow fingers over there.
Well,
man.
that too. I have certainly a guy who's very old and not very tech savvy.
Two-finger typer over there.
Oh yeah, that would be me, buddy. I've been ragged on that by a couple of my quote-unquote professional friends. Like, what are you doing, man? So.
Just tell him you're going for accuracy, not speed.
So we already know the Sackville Flyers will be in the final game this afternoon at 2 o'clock. But these two teams would like to be part of that. So the Bedford Blues and the Halifax Hawks, I'm sure they know each other very well. Geographically, they're close. And should be a good game here.
I saw the Blues away color jerseys the other day, and I'm loving the home blue with the solid colors on.
Well, this year, to celebrate the Acadian heritage in our area, our Yarmouth Mariners wore jerseys like that, but they were white with the like the Clare teams usually will wear, the Blues, the blue note.
Yep, I remember those. Yep.
It was great because if anybody out there listening isn't aware, here in Yarmouth, we are surrounded by many Acadian communities, and it's part of our heritage. And they were auctioned off for charity, and it all went to a great cause, for cancer research, and so a lot of affection for that. But the St. Louis Blues right now, ladies and gentlemen, have 11 wins in a row, and they look like a juggernaut. At Christmas time, they were in last place in their conference, and now they're trying to pull a 2019 when they won the Stanley Cup. But we're going to get back to this great action with these young guys in the U15 provincial tournament. U15 AA Provincials here at Yarmouth. A cold winter day, it feels like, but it's more of a rainy day.
Give it 10 minutes, it might turn the fog.
Yeah, there we go. So that is Taven Yee making that save. I watched him yesterday. He was playing very well. He makes that save for them, and his opponent in the other end. Do you have a number for me, JR?
I do not. But whoever's on camera 1, if they're listening, they could give us a shot of that goalie number and help us out.
Absolutely, and we'll keep an eye.
You know, not like Josh in the booth has anything to do in there. Is that Rajon down on 1?
Looks like the other
Yeah, it
Josh.
must be, because...
Is it Josh 2?
No, I don't think Josh 2's here yet.
Oh, I
Rajon's
see.
here.
Oh, it's Rajon. So.
And I know Nick's here because you can see he's below the camera over there on number 3.
Down to 13 minutes. I'll concentrate on trying to get some of these names right, as number 15, Mason Dufour, will play it for the Hawks, and it comes out over the zone, out over the line. Vino will dump it back in for Bedford. Dufour picks it up in his own zone. Partner pass. Stumbled for a moment in front of his goalie. Bedford in on the attack. Couple good solid body checks. The defenseman bails out of the way of that hit. And McPhee will turn it back. Makes a good pass. Well, he made a pass. Creighton did a good job of receiving it behind his back and flipping it up to himself. Good high skill level play.
Yeah, I think he wanted to set it up for a pass, but he still had more momentum than the other skater.
Creighton out front. That shot attempt was by Kalen McDonald, and he fires that in a good save there by our mystery goaltender. All right, it looks like number 31, J.P. Lefebvre. Right on. Thank you, Quinn. I'm just getting a 3-1, and I picked up the arm, the number on his arm when he turned slightly. So, J.P. Lefebvre, I'm sorry I left you out, but you're part of this game, and you just made a fine save. And speaking of goaltenders, Taven Yee makes another save, pins it against his chest, and holds it for a face-off. 11:54 left. First period action in semifinal number 2 between the Halifax Hawks and the Bedford Blues.
So with these are the 2 and 3 seeds?
That's correct. So Bedford would be the 3 seed, hence they're the visiting team, and the home team would be your Halifax Hawks. And they finished in the number 2 spot overall. So
we're expecting a much closer game unless someone steps up.
Perhaps, and I'll try to. I will try to get that for you. What the score was between these two teams when they met when they met.
Even if those round robin games, they can be telling, but it's not
sometimes
necessarily.
They're not, right?
Oh, absolutely right. You know, it's just like playoff hockey or playoff football. The game steps up when it gets to those phases.
Do you see them there? Anywhere?
We got Bedford, Yarmouth, Bedford, Cumberland. So no.
Okay, so in a 17 tournament, not everybody plays everybody. So that's so. These two teams, I'm sure they've seen each other lots during the year because it's a mainland league, or a provincial league. Because we had representatives here from. In the last game we had Glace Bay. We also have the Cape Breton County Islanders.
They might have been.
Here as
I
well,
probably
so.
quick glanced on one column, so
yeah,
it's possible.
So exactly. So, but that's okay. Back to action. The Blues will look to work that out of their own zone. Noah Gallant gets it out to center ice. It's played there quickly by a Matteo Mercer. Good battle at the line, and the Blues eventually will get it in deep. D-to-D pass. Defenseman takes it off the boards and then chips it out into the neutral zone. And that would be Liam Letiera. Across the line.
Oh,
they score on that
goal.
Terrible
on that one.
Lefebvre was fantastic yesterday, and that's a goal that he would like to have back. And it's Quam is going to score the first goal here for the Halifax Hawks.
He's still on the ice, and he's saying to himself, how did I let that happen? Yeah, he tried to glove it, and he got comfortable with the glove and didn't get the lumber down behind him to protect it, and it just sneaks by. So we'll see how he recovers from that. You get hit on the chin early, and sometimes you get right into it.
So it's Quan unassisted at 10:40 for Halifax.
Going to get a penalty or offside?
Makes it 1-0, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be an offside based on what I see from the officials.
Oh, there was a lining with the hand up.
That's
I
my
was
buddy.
sneezing.
That's my buddy Frank down there. The aforementioned Frank Laxton. He moved here from Quebec about 4 or 5 years ago, and everybody loves him. There's a beautiful picture of him and Maurice Rocket Richard in our referee's room. And Frankie, 2 minutes for looking too good. And if you don't get that reference, JR, I don't want to be friends anymore.
Sadly, I get it, but I was just going to let it slide and, not comment on it. That's fine.
Well, I actually heard a podcast yesterday.
Oh, God.
Called Under the Influence on Terry O'Reilly on CBC Radio, and he was speaking of that commercial. And that was 1983, and Maurice Rocket Richard did that, and it became a famous line in hockey. Back to the play.
Certainly did. Oh, nice save there.
Quigley had gotten that out front, and it was a great opportunity.
But what I'm loving to see is the Blues coming right back and not letting that kind of slow them down.
Close play on the offside, and it's deemed okay, and so we'll move on here. And the Blues will look to turn it out. They get it outside the line. Ripley plays it back in. Good. Oh, I was going to say, I thought McKay maybe before he touched the puck had got to the line, but the linesman's shaking his head no, so he reached for it. The call is he had to get back to the line with at least one skate before he could play that puck because he was offside, so the whistle comes outside. And we'll face it off again. The Blues, Letiera controls it off the draw. The defenseman gets it out to center ice. Schneider will battle for it there, and he'll bring it up. Schneier up against Ripley. They bring it. He gets it in over the line. And that will send Lucas Wyand after the puck. Wyand will play it up on the sideboard, so he'll get it back. A good give-and-go play there. These teams are, there's not a lot of room out there. These teams are battling each other in real close quarters, and they're playing physical early on.
Yeah, good solid games so far from both sides.
Quigley for Schneier, and he made a good move, and then the puck slid off his stick, or else he might have been off to the races. He gets wiped out with a good, clean hit there.
Kind of got his lumber moving too cleanly, and the puck just flew right off it.
If the ice was a little rougher here, maybe at the end of
the
period, he might not have lost that one.
Yep, that had stayed right with him.
He looked like he was in great position to go in for an opportunity. So
sometimes you get used to playing on that dirty ice.
That's right. Every time we say, we want a good clean sheet of ice to start this period. Well, in that case, maybe not.
And then you just try a soft pass and you send it like it's a rocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Bedford goes in. The draw goes back to behind the net. They center it out front, and immediately Benjamin Creighton will bring it out. Tries to get a pass across. That's rejected. The Blues player, Ethan McAvoy, I talked to his grandfather yesterday. His grandfather was an official of 43 years, including in the AHL. Oh, and that's a kick and goal. Maybe.
Well, they're calling it a goal. The Blues are trying to say he kicked it, but the ref's not having any of it.
Right, well, the referee didn't see it, so that he has to see a direct kicking motion. He didn't see it, so.
I think the other ref was like, you good? Okay.
Yeah, well, I saw some encouragement there from the two officials. Talked it over, and so they're talking it over now. Now, let's remind everybody, this is not a reviewable call. We do not have video replay at this level, nor do we have it at the Junior A level. So
yeah, we don't have it at any levels here. Thanks.
However anybody feels about it down there, as I said, I get most of the calls right up here, but I don't get them all right down there, and it's very easy.
Now you're most up here. I thought you got them all right up here.
I found out the referee in chief was listening, and so I want to correct myself on the fly.
There you go.
So it's 2-0.
And it is what you see, right? Like, he may have actually kicked it, but if you don't see the kick, you call what you see. That's a goal.
And you are allowed to direct the play, right? So
yes, as long as it's not the kick. Like, you can redirect your skate to angle that in. Yep.
So the referee did not see a clear kicking motion. Therefore, it's a goal, and we play on.
And I mean, it might have looked like it from us up here, but live, he might have got his lumber in front of the stick. So
yeah, absolutely.
It all comes down to what the referee sees on the ice, not what we see from the camera or from the stands or on your couch. So a quick head start here for Halifax early on.
Halifax, sorry, go ahead, JR.
I was going to say, but the Blues clearly are not done. There's a whole lot of hockey here.
The team's well represented. The Hawks, you'll see, yesterday we got a good picture of their banner. It says "Fly, Hawks, Fly," or Hawks Fly Together, I believe. It's hanging over the where the team comes out. Well traveled.
Oh, that one, yep.
Almost the entire team seems to be represented here, and I was lucky enough to meet the father of Luke Katsopoulos, his father Mike, yesterday as well. So
yeah, I was going to say there's practically a second team in the stands with all the jerseys.
Absolutely. So very friendly and a great bunch. I had a good chat with a bunch of them. We talked some hockey. I was sporting my Nick Suzuki jersey yesterday, and he's a Leafs fan. But I had to give Nick some love because he's been playing out of his mind lately for my Habs, and so back to the Bedford Blues trying to get it out of the zone. Almost kept alive there by Creighton, who has one of the two goals. Levi Harris, he'll get it up to center ice for the Blues. Katsopoulos, I just mentioned him a moment ago. His father's originally from Toronto, but they live in Halifax now.
Blues having a hard time clearing their zone,
Yep.
and they're working the strong side instead of the weak side. They really need to change things up there to get some clearance.
Sackville's getting some real good pressure on the guys, and a lot of that work, what you need there is for you not to have a big gap between your defensemen and forwards. If your forwards take off too early and they don't give a target, and preferably a moving target, JR.
Yeah.
So that they can be hit in stride.
I always hated that in pickup games. Like, guys, you got to move.
Yeah. So if you're a defenseman and you do hit a guy that's standing still, well, he's just going to be the puck's going to be knocked off his stick immediately by a player coming on. So that's just what they call gap control. play kept in there by Jake McPhee at the line for Halifax. Creighton again. He's been very active early on.
Headman up.
Good home run pass try there, and it was bouncing a little bit and unable to be corralled by Evan Vaders.
But
Can you
solid
double
catch
check,
to
is
see
that Vaders or Waters there, buddy? This guy over here.
Vaders.
Vaders.
So it's a combination of both.
There you go. Well, I think I called him Waters yesterday
That's possible.
because I had a...
You could have thought the V was a
Yeah,
typo.
exactly. Well, I'm getting blind too, right?
Oh, yeah. What are you getting?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
just ask anyone that's seen me officiate, buddy. I always tell them, I'm blind, but I'm not deaf, and that hurts a little bit.
Right? Yeah, I'm a little sensitive. the eyes may not work, sir, but my ears do, and I'm sad now.
The Blues, a little bit of pressure here applied. Vino takes a bit of a pop. We got a delayed penalty on the play here. Looks to be against the Halifax Hawks.
And I think it's number 9 who threw that hit.
A charge.
Came in a little too hot.
So we're going to get a charging penalty here.
A little too much wind up on that one.
Against Drew Rimmer. One of the two Rimmers in the game. I'm told they're cousins. So he'll get 2 minutes for charging, and that will be our first power play of the game. And
Huge
will
chance
go
for
to
the Blues.
Bedford Blues.
This is where you want to make a difference. Take that opportunity.
Defensive zone face-off win by Halifax. Great pass up to Sear at the center ice, but a good intervention there by Aiden Van Rensburg. I was really impressed with his game yesterday when I called his game. The defenseman for Bedford played a very strong game, and you could see what he's able to do there. And he's out on power play 1, which is usually a good indication of your ability. Schneier, he scored yesterday in the game I called as well. And that's shot down ice. Icing waved off. Some of the Hawks fans' chagrin. To their chagrin, I should say. And that's shot down ice. A good clear there by number 7, Luke Redwood for Halifax. And that will burn off some time and get them the much-needed change. 1:10 left on the power play here. And Bedford will set up the breakout. They'll play it up along the near wing to Stewart. His shot is aerial, and it doesn't connect. And number 14, Luke Katsopoulos, will get the clear again. And back to the drawing board behind his own net is Knowles, Aiden Knowles. That pass just misses Stewart.
That was a pass on. He missed his lumber.
Yeah, absolutely. And it went between his stick and his body, and it quickly cleared out with the opportunity given by number 15, Mason Dufour. The Blues come across. They stay on side. The shot is whistled. Goes wide and kept in there by Van Rensburg. Good solid body checks. Good clean ones. Now the guys popping at each other a little bit. Nothing of any substance.
Ooh, nice shot there.
Stewart, he took a bit of a bouncing puck and he fired a bit of a knuckleball.
Oh, had the open man.
And a good save there by Peyton Yee.
Eyes became saucers. Wanted to shoot from down in close, but number 10 was on the backside there and wide open.
And the penalty had just expired, and the shot down ice was ruled icing, and they'll come back in the Halifax Hawks zone with 2:27 first period action. 2-0 Halifax lead, and they have a 10-6 shots on goal advantage.
I'm going to call all those bells the way the Hawks cry over here. They're just crying out with all those bells. And we got a couple horns in the arena as well.
I noticed there was a sign up asking for
no air horns.
No air horns, but I think they're talking about the ones, the
push
button
the can ones. Yeah.
And those ones, having worked in fishing supplies, I can tell you those ones are pretty deafening.
Oh, those are
decibel
ridiculous.
Levels are, you don't want someone to blow one of those behind your ear.
Oh, no.
Good play in on goal. And that was Drew Rimmer. Got a shot there, and J.P. Lefebvre, he gave up that early one that he didn't like very much. But he looked sharp there. He was square in his butterfly and took away the net.
Couple chippy swings down there from a couple players. The referees just trying to calm them down. Be like, look, no need.
Yeah, these games are ones where the referees are going to want to try to stay out of it as much as they can. But the after the whistle stuff, they're gonna talk to both teams and say, look, I'm gonna set a tone here, and if it starts to get silly, I'm gonna start taking guys off, and it might be just one guy going, because it really doesn't give anybody any incentive to stop doing it if you just take both guys.
Oh, no, for sure. And like you said earlier about the gap management, the Blues are just not moving well in the initial breakouts. So the Flyers and their D are easily pinching and controlling. Like everyone's just drifting here.
What the Hawks are doing really well right now is they're forcing the Blues to, in that case, the defenseman had to skate it out because he didn't have any lanes to make a pass. And that's part of that. You move up and down the ice as a team. Schneider gets a good chance there with the toe drag, snapshot. Off the glass, just missed high.
Again, opportunity for number 10 on the backside, but shooter with big eyes again.
McKay tries to beat his man, but Levi Harris having none of that, and he'll play it off around the corner. His partner will flip that up, and it goes into the Blues bench, and that will bring the faceoff back deep into the Blues zone with 49.3 seconds. And again, another briskly moving period. That's one thing I can tell you, JR. Every game I've called this weekend, it's the 15-minute periods are playing at about 16 minutes, which is
right.
Sometimes a welcome change. As you know, sometimes when we do a Junior A game, those 20-minute periods feel like they take an hour.
They're the whole games in themselves, right? Like
icing,
3 days later.
Icing offside in the match, offside, right? So.
Yep.
That's okay. I love coming to the rink, so I don't mind that. But I do
Got a
like a
chance
good
here.
brisk pace. Chisholm, I believe, with the puck. He'll play that across on the backhand. It was a high saucer pass, and it didn't quite lay flat to give them a chance. And Creighton will bring it back down ice for Halifax. He'll try to split the D. He beats the first man. Now he gets it across, and unfortunately for Creighton, he's a left-handed shooter. If he's a right-hander, that's an easy tap in. But he's left-handed, so he would have had to make a stop on that and then put it into the wide-open cage. And after one period of play, it's 2-0 for the Halifax Hawks.
Sometimes it feels like when you're golfing and you try and swing that club backwards because you're on a hill that you can't swing normally on. It's tough getting that lumber the way you want to when you're on the wrong hand side.
And that's a situation where if you're watching the game later on, you'll say, man, I had enough time to stop that and put it in.
In the moment, you're like,
in the moment, you
down
don't
low,
know.
I can't.
You think there's a guy that's going to
Yep.
pop that
I'm
off
going to
your
get
stick,
smoked.
so,
I got to get
right?
this shot in.
And the true goal scorers, the greats, they have that knack of knowing when they have time and
Yep.
when they don't.
It's that whole situational and hockey awareness. Like they know that, oh, I've got a gap here. I've got time. Control this. And you're thinking about all that in like heartbeats. So, yeah, you're down there. The pass comes to you. You're like, oh, I need to shoot this right away. And you just whiff a little bit. But you didn't know you had like a half mile between you and the defender.
So, little break here between periods. We'll have a flood after this period. And we're just about set to get underway
Nice
here.
Nolan. And we are underway while my one thumb typer over here sends a text message.
Yeah, again, picking on my age.
You might as well just tap on that voice message button and say it out.
Well, I can't say it out when I'm on the air.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Although I have to confess, I use my Apple AirPods, well, 90% of the time when I'm at work.
That's almost a call.
Yeah.
Could have been a call.
Could have been.
We had a bunch of referees up here saying it could have been.
Yeah, absolutely. So the amateur referees, the ones up in the stands, they often disagree. That one, that's what we call a non-impact play. It's at neutral ice. There was no risk of a scoring chance, no risk of an injury.
He's feeling that one. Hard shot up high off the shins.
Yeah, and
I think he turned a bit to try and get his skates flat.
Paying the price for sure. That took a bite out of him. Is that Creighton? It is. So let's hope Mr. Creighton's okay. He's played very well, and he's having a hard time lumbering to the bench there, and he gets off, and his teammates are patting him on the back.
Yeah, he's feeling that in the meat.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him. Hopefully it's just one of those stingers that goes away. Great call on the offside there. The puck came just out over the line.
He'll be rubbing that one out. He'll wear that one later when he's got his shorts on.
Yeah, sometimes you get those, and they hurt like the devil, right?
Oh, yeah.
But then they go away fairly quickly, and sometimes that's not necessarily the case.
Shot wide, it's going to come all the way up to the blue line. Long shot in, redirect. I'm always concerned when the D-man wants to play the puck and the goalie's trying to corral it. Like, you guys got to be on the same team.
Yeah, Lefebvre was trying to get the freeze on it, but he was unable to. So I have a little update on the second goal there. I apologize, I missed the call on it because of the commotion. The goal was Quan, his second of the game, from Caleb McDonald. Back to action live. Quigley was trying for that puck, but Joseph Rimmer for the Hawks gets it down ice, and Knowles will play it there just inside of his line. His pass to Schneider, just unable to totally get control of it, as I think he was trying to one-time a pass. In on goal, great little pass by Rimmer out front. It's in the skates now of Jacob Parker, unable to find it as he had some company there with the team in blue, and Bedford will ice the puck. And the puck will come all the way down to the right of J.P. Lefebvre. 12:39 left, second period action.
Yeah, Bedford's certainly playing a little unsettled right now. Halifax cleaner. They're covering their lanes. They're skating harder. They're challenging the play. And Bedford is just not finding open lanes to move through. And it's kind of frustrating them a bit, especially being down too early. Little conversation with the players on the backside.
Yeah, the lineys will go over and tell guys, I want you to do this. And as soon as you turn around to get ready to drop the puck, they go right back to where they were.
Didn't I just talk to you? Go to your room.
Chisholm in behind the net there. He'll control that puck. He'll chip it out back to the point where Van Rensburg has a try.
That's the third long shot like that from the Blues that's blocked up high. They've got to take different lanes.
Out in front, McKay with a chance there, but it was on his backhand, and he was unable to shovel it towards the net. And the Blues, the pass for Chisholm goes awry, doesn't get contact with it, even though it wouldn't have mattered. He was on his own side of center ice.
Hockey Mom's a little preemptive celebration down there. They thought they had a goal coming, so they're all up celebrating with the recordings, and then they sat back down quick when they realized he whiffed on it.
Yeah, it was a good-looking score, a good-looking
huge
chance coming out there. And he was just unable to reach the pass, and it went for icing, and we'll have a face-off back in the Blues zone. Those are the ones that make you roll your eyes when you're like, darn it, I know I could have had that pass, but it happens. And great set of wheels coming down.
A good stick play there to kill that one.
Excellent, especially with a guy coming that fast, because that makes you think as a defenseman, oh boy, I better be ready here, as number 19, Jake McPhee, was showing, or my apologies, number 19, Jake Matheson for the Blues was coming down, and great play on the defense to take that away from him cleanly.
He had boosters on those skates.
Yeah.
He was flying.
That looks like he looked like, and he's got the great hockey, the blonde, long locks there, and they were flowing in the wind. And
But you can't tell what's natural blonde locks this weekend. I've seen a lot of posers, if you will.
There's some dye jobs.
Yeah.
The entire Sackville bench.
I saw someone with leopard action going on. So
right on. We had some. They had as I was saying, the Sackville team, the coaching staff is all dressed like, they all have the M&M style going there from the early 90s.
Oh,
that
nice
one's
chop up.
Chipped up
high
over.
Stick.
Knocked down with a high stick. Who plays it? You see the referee there? He waves it off.
He had to wait because no one was touching it for a while.
That's right. The Blues had high stick the puck, and the first player to touch it was a Halifax Hawk. So good job by the official down deep there, and that's Brock Eamon, as one of the Blues spills into the net and knocks it off.
The parents here were all watching the pass play, watching the puck movement up top, and then when they finally looked at the net and realized the player had gone through the net, they're like, come on.
And no intent there or anything. There's Ethan McAvoy, as I was saying, his grandfather, he worked the AHL, he told me, and he worked Halifax Voyageurs. So,
wow.
That goes back a long ways, but let me tell you, as a Montreal Canadiens fan, there are a lot of Hall of Famers that played in that organization, that played in Halifax. Guys like Ken Dryden, Guy Carbonneau, Larry Robinson, Guy Lapointe. So,
big chance here. Oh, that puck just died along the boards. I was going to say, if the Blues can catch that and run.
Knowles goes down, takes a bit of a bump. They only made contact with their feet, luckily for number 5 there, Jacob Parker, who was in trying to make a play on the puck, but if he had made contact with the numbers there, he would have been putting himself at risk of being tossed for checking from behind. So luckily it was not much contact, and referees appropriately made no call. Lachlan McKay out with the puck for Halifax, just flips it in over the line. His teammates have abandoned him to make a line change. And the Blues again. Here comes, that was Matheson again, showing those good wheels and a shot.
And again, nobody down low. Like,
right.
The Blues just aren't active in the zones they need to be in.
Right, so that was a shot from well out, good wrist, just a wrist shot. Clear lane for Yee to make the save, and he had no problem with it, and we'll have a face-off to his left with 9:58 left. Here, second period action. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a lot of fun out there. Welcome to our friends from Bedford and from Halifax, although I think most of the Halifax team is here. But I'm sure there's some loved ones watching on our YouTube channel for MC Media, and we wish you guys all well and hope Yarmouth has treated you well this weekend for those who are in attendance and might be watching this maybe on tape. Halifax down behind the net. That's Jake McPhee. He turns it back the other way. He's being closely watched by Van Rensburg. That's my buddy Mike Katsopoulos there, and he actually put his arm up to indicate what he would like the referee to do.
He's throwing a flag, man. Like,
yeah.
Throw the hand.
And that's shot down by Latteria. Halifax player diving for it, unable to get it, and a shot attempt there just misses.
I feel like the Blues aren't playing well as a team right now. Like, 2 players went in for that puck, and no one went to the net. No one's picking up the other lane. So they're just a little off step.
Van Rensburg will control the puck out and neutral ice. Vaders will dump that in, and it'll be set up by Yee for his defenseman, and that's shot up into the mesh. The referees pick it up, and a lot of times, just in case anybody's wondering what they'll say when we do a game, the referees will say, give me the first crack at high sticks and glove to head, and anything out of play, it's all yours. And the linesmen, in that case, are empowered to make that call right away. A lot of times the referee, it'll happen up over his head where he won't be able to see it. They blow it dead right away. That's a good block at the line by number 10, Quan. He's got both goals in this hockey game. Doesn't like what he sees, makes a great little cut back.
And again, that's another shot up high blocked. They're just firing into the legs. They've got to go wide on these shots. They've got to adapt, and the Blues are just not doing it.
That pass was intended for Creighton. He's the one that went off earlier with the stinger, and he's back, and it's really good to see him. He tips that puck, but it goes wide. Gallant will play it behind his own net.
Oh, he's still feeling that, I think.
Oh, maybe a little bit, but
he might have tweaked it again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're okay. I
the
saw
guy
the player
came on
jump
early.
over, but he had already been substituted. The player had been substituted, so I was showing you how quickly we have to count sometimes as referees. And that's a save by Yee. That's one of the better-looking scoring chances. That one was by Chisholm, as we get a close-up on our camera of Halifax Hawks blanket.
And a sign that I couldn't read because the font's too thin.
There you go. I think that would be the Hawks fly together sign that I alluded to earlier.
No, they might have more than one. I was going to say the one you alluded to is still pinned up over
okay, right on. So that's another save by Yee. There we go. Hawks fly together. Yes. So that's a long-standing tradition with the team. I was informed yesterday. And
do they, though? Like, I don't know if Hawks fly in, like, packs. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I have to assume that's where that came from. But, like,
usually you see them hunting on a solo, but
I got to call up David Attenborough and be like, is that what Hawks do, man?
Well, we're not going to get into ornithology. We're going to stick with hockey, as we're not experts in either. But we're going to try to pretend to be experts here. So no icing.
Look at that curling on net.
Yes, absolutely. Good job by the Blues defenseman to not just assume it's going to be an icing there as the puck curled, and if he just lollygags his way back, for lack of a better term.
I know, it's a good term.
That could be real trouble for his goaltender. So good, intelligent play there to hustle back. The Hawks will play that, try to get it out of their zone, and they do. That's Joseph Rimmer. The puck handed up to Lachlan McKay. Blues will flip it out. That'll go for icing, I believe. Shot from their own blue line, and they'll go off for a change. 6:41 left. Face-off will come down deep to the right of J.P. Lefebvre as we get a shot of, I believe, some of the Bedford faithful here in attendance.
Yeah, I'm not sure which angle that was. It's like I'm trying to find the seating pattern that showed up on the camera.
Yeah, it's like the old days at our old arena. The fans will stick together, sort of thing. So.
Well, you get most of the home crowd, but then you get the kids that are off on their own. Like, I don't want to sit with my mom. We're all going down here.
That one's fired into the Halifax bench, so it will be, can't advance that, so it'll come back to the face-off dot just outside of the Halifax line in front of the Bedford bench. 6:29 left. Bedford has closed the shots margin down to 13 to 11. Still down 2-0 on the scoreboard. Trying to mount a comeback here. Still early. We're only just a little bit over halfway through the game. We will have a flood after this period. Rimmer, he'll come in there. That's Drew Rimmer, and he gets a shot on goal. It's low, and J.P. Lefebvre makes the paddle save, gets the rebound, all tidied up, and he'll have a face-off over to his left, down in front of myself, Jeff McGray, and my partner, JR, on MC Media. We have Josh Cochran, Quinn Taggart, Nick Doucette, and Regin LeBlanc.
I was going to leave you hanging. I was like, he's not confident on this one. He's going to go.
Poor guy. He's a volunteer, and I'm messing up his name. Might be because we're from opposite political parties, JR.
That could be.
Just
could be.
Retaliation.
Yeah,
it's just unacceptable on my part.
Always something with you. Always something.
Face off deep in the blue zone. Gallant tied his man up so that he was unable to get to that, and the Blues. That's it. I like that hit. That's
a good hit right after he dumped it.
Yeah, he shot it. You get the Mississippi there, and as long as the referee deems it's not head contact, and I don't think it was.
No, solid chest hit.
I like that.
Yep. He was moving with speed. He separated the puck. The defenseman or the forward at that case knew what was going on. He's like, no.
And that's when you say, so you want to be a winger, do you?
Gandalf's like, thou shalt not pass, and he got dumped.
Yeah, absolutely. Harris bumps his man after he fires it deep. You can hear the Halifax faithful again hollering out to their players by first name, telling them to get there.
But what you have happened is Harris with a good stand up there.
Harris stands up Creighton, gets the hands up around the chest area.
But what you see happening with the Blues right now is you see like good skaters trying to step up and do all the work instead of having the team pick up.
Right.
So that one fast player just stands out. You hit him.
Yeah, and I think they were getting a little frustrated with the passing lane.
Three men within a stick length.
Yeah. So guys are trying to make a little bit of an individual effort, but they are bringing some energy and seem to have the Hawks in their zone a little bit more than they had earlier.
The energy is what they need, but they just need to be a little bit more organized as a team.
Chisholm gets that around. Harris will pinch in on the line, keeps it alive. Good play by him. And we got a penalty coming here as Harris had lost his stick, and we got a tripping penalty. Brock Eamon makes the emphatic call. 4:41 left.
Number 10?
Number 10, Quan. He's got 2 goals. And he will go off for Halifax. And so Bedford, they're 0 for 1 thus far on the power play. And that's what they will get their second crack at it.
Huge opportunity now.
Yeah.
You missed the first one, but if you want to get back into this game, rare power play opportunity. So like you said, these periods are going quick.
Vaders will take the draw for Bedford, and he wins it back. And just kept in there. Good call on the line.
I was going to say, that was almost going to roll over his stick if he doesn't apply some pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. He
Knowles
was
with a
reaching
great
out.
glove.
They knock it back in. Halifax dumps it to the line, and they eventually get the clear with some help. It took a team effort to get it out, but they did the job, and William Sear has a shot from out high, and it's turned aside by Lefebvre. And the Blues will regroup and bring it out. They missed Vaders on the pass, and that
Vaders just kind of drifted a little bit there. Yeah. He had the opportunity to put his skates in motion, and that's why he missed it.
Now Vaders will get it down deep along the sideboards. Good pass up high for Knowles as he walks the line, hands it off to the flank. They get it down low. Back for Drew Cameron. He's looking to center, doesn't see anything, goes back to the point.
They got to move that puck around more. Those long shots through those legs are not getting through.
Not having,
Solid
Yeah.
hip check there. Bounced
That was
right back up.
Big body check there as the defenseman
Oh, that had a big opportunity. Goalie didn't even see that till it was past him.
paid the price there. That was Levi Harris who came down and made a good pinch, but he definitely paid the price with a solid hit along the boards.
Got to move around. Here you go.
And the goaltender sprawls out Yee and makes the save and a couple of little slashes. And this is where you're going to see the referees are going to, they're probably going to do it on a verbal basis here and say, listen, and yeah, absolutely. So you see Brock Eamon and he goes over the player. It was just a one-handed slash, but it was after the whistle.
Yep.
And he goes over, and Brock is known for having a cool head, and he goes over and he speaks to Mr. Chisholm, and he says, look, I can't have that. If I'm going to see that again, it's going to cost you and your team right now. And that's something they can ill afford, down 2-0 right now.
Bouncing puck gets away from them there. The Blues have to reset.
And we talked about it in the last game, and that's a situation where, as the referee, you don't want to bury a guy right now, and for a relatively minor infraction, but you do want him to know that, you're not going to accept that going forward. The Blues back to regroup in their own zone. Only 15 seconds left on their second power play opportunity. Cleared out.
Nice leap to clear out of the way of that one.
Yeah.
Pass out front, goes nowhere.
Latteria was trying to fire that in, and it was almost some friendly fire action there as his teammates scattered to get out of the way. Van Rensburg back in his own zone. Penalty is killed, and it's 0 for 2 now for Bedford.
But that was the most zone control we've seen from Bedford.
Yeah, it was a productive power play.
Yep.
Sometimes you can take some momentum from that if you have a
Broken
good power
lumber
play.
there for someone.
Yeah.
A quick whistle is going to allow them to get that new piece.
Now, JR, when we see Mariners break their sticks, those $300 sticks, they don't like it. But when it's a parent having to buy that $300 stick,
Give me some duct tape.
it hurts a little more.
We're putting this back together.
And
I got some glue and some clamps.
The new technology with the sticks, those sticks are awesome. They can make a feeble hockey player like myself actually feel like he has a shot. Whereas, the days of the old Sherwood 50-30s are gone.
The old Sherwood lumber, don't knock that. That's some solid sticks.
Ah, those are awesome, man. With the tall coffee curve.
I'm sure we still have those in a closet somewhere, and you can take those out and they still work.
Well, if I don't, then I guarantee I have one, the shaft with a plastic blade on it that I use for floor hockey. So
there you go.
Back to the point. Halifax gets a shot. Great play at the line there by the forward, the winger on the play. Again, paying the price. And that was number 14, Spencer McQueen. Lightning McQueen makes the save there, and you can see he's hobbling as he goes to the bench. And just like Mr. Creighton, we'll keep an eye, and hopefully he's okay.
That's certainly a stinger. You turn your legs because you're trying to flatten your skates to take up as much lane as possible. But what you're doing is you're saying, hey, the back of my legs are fresh and meaty. Why don't you hit that if you bring that off the ice?
Great choice by Kevin there to play some Winter Sleep, some local Yarmouth flavor. Two of the members of that great band are from right here in Yarmouth. Two are from Halifax. So representing both the teams on the ice and the host team, Yarmouth Mariners.
Into the bench again.
Yeah, shot into the bench there by the Blues, and that will bring the face-off back deep into their own zone to the right of their goaltender, J.P. Lefebvre. Still 2-0, 15-12 shots on goal. Bedford killing a penalty now. I apologize. I didn't mention that to you guys. Number 21 is off, and so.
It's like I didn't see it. We were talking, and someone just snuck into the box.
Yeah.
It's like that box osmosed a player in there.
We apologize. Flapping our lips is what we're good at.
Well, I mean, that's what we're here to do. So, I mean, that's kind of the point.
So anyway, we did miss that.
And we have clarified already that you're blind. So, I mean.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
I do not dispute said
Yep.
fact.
Yep.
So that's Jonathan Stewart in the penalty box for 51 more seconds or less. Shot there on the penalty kill.
And
on the power play, rather, by.
I'm going to point out that was a solid glove close. You
Yes.
saw earlier with a light glove, the goal went in. That was clenched tight.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times they break those huge gloves in so that they don't even have to close it. It closes itself, just like the way we work our baseball gloves. So, right?
Indeed.
That ball will go in there, hit the pocket if you're fielding it properly and you don't take it off the wrist. In on The play is Spencer McQueen, just too many bodies to get through, and Halifax will come back. 25 seconds left in their first power play opportunity. Joseph Rimmer down low along the boards.
Oh, high stick or something?
Oh,
player down.
Yeah, player went down, and
but no call, so
he's in some concern. The whistle
can't be a
won't-
high stick. He's got a full mask, so maybe something in the throat.
Yeah, something hurt him for sure, and he's going off. He left a glove and a stick behind.
He might have got a slash then and just dropped to the ice. So
Yeah.
hopefully he's okay.
If there was,
I forget about all the full cages here, right?
Yeah, if there was there'll be full cages everywhere. I think
Good.
next year might be the last year that I think either next year will be the last year that Junior A has the grandfathered clause, where the players who started with the half visor.
Good.
But I could be. It might even be next year where we go to full cages.
I would like to see a better design of the full cage, but I'm all about player safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the end of the second. And there's the replay. I can't see it as well up here because it's kind of the opposite side.
So again, a very brisk pace, and we're gonna take a bit of a break here for a good flood here, and the Halifax Hawks lead 2-0 rather, over the Bedford Blues in semifinal number 2. The winner of this game will play the Sackville Flyers at 2 p.m. Thank you for watching on MC Media. We'll be back in a few moments. Jeff McGray along with John Surratt and all of our volunteers on MC Media.
Past my exit sign. Kept on driving straight and left our future to the right. Now I am stuck between my anger and the blame that I can't face, and memories or something even smoking weed is not replaced. And I am terrified of weather, cause I see you when it rains. Doc told me to travel, but there's COVID on the planes. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. And I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now you're tired tracks and one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half, but that'll have to do. So I thought that if I piled something good and all my bad, that I could cancel out the darkness I inherited from Dad. No, I am no longer funny, cause I miss the way you laugh. You once called me forever, now you still can't call me back. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. And I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now you're tired tracks and one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half, but that'll have to do. Oh, that'll have to do. My other half was you. I hope this pain's just passing through, but I doubt it. 'Cause I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. And I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now you're tired tracks and one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half. That'll have to do, have to do. I just woke up from a dream where you and I had to say goodbye. And I don't know what it all means, but since I survived, I realized wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow. be next to you.
Welcome back for the third period of play. The Bedford Blues and the Halifax Hawks.
Nick dropping off fortune cookies for us.
Oh, we got some fortune cookies here.
It'd be better if he dropped off some egg rolls, man. Like, what's this? Is he trying to tell us something? Has he got custom messages in there?
So welcome back to MC Media's coverage of the U15AAA Provincials here at Yarmouth Mariner Center. It's 2-0 Halifax Hawks after two periods over the Bedford Blues, with a chance to go to the final game against the Sackville Flyers, which will happen at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and we will have that coverage for you. Pretty proudly, our volunteers will bring that to you guys.
And I'm certainly hoping the coaching staff had a solid talk with the Bedford Blues during that intermission, because they need to step it up. You got one period of hockey, and you need 3 goals. Going to get a call on that?
And the fans say, oh, come on, but the referees already had it. Both referees' arms are up, and that indicates right away.
That is not how you wanted to start this period.
Again, when you see both referees' arms go up like that, it can give you a little bit more decisiveness. You know, as a fan watching. So,
head contact.
Did he call 4? I believe he called 4. He did.
Yep.
So Owen Chisholm will go off 4 minutes for head contact, and a big opportunity here for Halifax to really put a dagger in here, up 2 goals.
Okay, so whatever conversation was had did not work. I'll just say that.
Well,
I'll put my money on. Nope.
Sometimes it's a matter of let's go out and be aggressive here, but you go to try to throw that hit, and there may not have been intent, but at the same time, the onus is on the guy hitting to not put that head contact, and it's always about walking that line of aggressiveness, right?
Oh yeah.
So you play to the line and not over it, but they got burned right there, and so good save by
Now
JP Lefebvre.
Quinn's deciding my future. Now I have to look at what this message says. So we open up. My cookie's all bashed. That's not good. Does that mean I have a terrible future coming?
Well, they taste terrible anyway, so I have no intention of eating them. But
I'm on the wrong side. I got to flip this over.
30 seconds have elapsed in the penalty.
It's not even a fortune. Now it's telling me about myself. You were inclined to come up with unconventional solutions. That's not a fortune.
Keep in touch with some form.
Someone get a refund on these cookies. Little bump there, but Hawks will carry it into the zone.
Wyand with a good head of steam, splits the D. Tries to go to the backhand. He had run out of room a bit, and a nice save there by Lefebvre.
And he wasn't moving fast, but he basically just skated past the Blues D on that. It's like they're immediately dejected after that 4-minute head contact.
Yeah, and you kind of got to back off there, but at that point, some guys, they'll look at, you'll see a guy that doesn't look like he's flying, but they almost mesmerize you, and he made a really sweet little move and cut it to the middle.
He made some good moves, but I feel like, the Blues are flat-footed again already. Our medic team down there with a good overhead shot.
Yes, thank you very much to our St. John's ambulance team. They've been out here all weekend.
I'm hoping they have been bored.
And we appreciate, yeah, absolutely. If they're bored, that means that no one's hurt. Or
we appreciate you being here, but we want you to be very bored.
That's right. As long as we leave those AED machines where they belong, and that's great. So, but thank you for them. Great service they're providing here. Halifax working it around for Ripley. Jack Ripley fires that in deep. Jacob Parker will control along the far boards. Backhands it back. Good play by Redwood to get over and adjust. I think he was caught off guard there.
Yeah, he was not expecting that kind of back pass.
Like, what are you doing to me, man?
Like, okay, I'm going to move over. Whoa, 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 whoa. I was not ready for that.
Battle at the side of the net. Now, and this is where when you get the initial shove and then you've got to back off here.
Because you're trying to play to the whistle. The whistle may go and you're already in the motion, but then after that you got to control it. So,
and that's where the referees are watching you, and they're saying they're probably using their verbal cues and telling you, okay, guys, whoa, easy, guys. Whistle's gone. You don't want to take a penalty right now. It's a close game. You don't want to bury your team. Don't make me make that call.
Well, it's not as close right now, but 4 seconds left in that double.
I think the face-off was deemed unfair, and we're going to redo it. Back with Mr. Frank Laxton. Creighton scrums the draw. It's picked up, though, by the Blues. And Fisher Schneier fires that. And did he get anybody on the...
Yeah, I don't know if he was even watching. I think he was just leaned in and it pegged him.
Did he get a helmet?
Yeah.
Good. My buddy Craig LeBlanc, I'm sure you know Craig, his son Sam works the clock. He had a pretty nasty little whack on the head this year coaching a high school team.
I heard about that.
He leaned forward and the puck got him and split him open for some stitches. And he showed me there a couple of weeks after, and he still had a pretty nice gash there. And
yeah, they leave a mark.
I told him I was disappointed in him because he should have made the catch.
Right?
Oh, great chance in front. 2 saves there. Lefebvre made the first save and then a brilliant opportunity.
Yeah, that hit Lumber up high and snapped and then landed out front for an opportunity.
And look where that Lumber snapped.
That's what I said. It was up high, like right on the...
6 inches from the butt end.
That's on the tape.
Hey, I could use that stick. Just give that stick to me. I just put the plug back in.
Right?
It's still good.
The D-man was confused. He was holding the Lumber like he still had the grip, and the other one came off.
Yeah, you just put that one on the saw, get a nice cut, and then fire the plug back in. You still get a good stick, or your little brother might have one anyway.
Yes, I'd almost keep playing. Like, look, does it even count as broken? It's just shorter.
Absolutely.
Right?
It would be unsafe to pick it up because it's a jagged end. Wyand has it there, tries to get it in front.
Clear,
that pass is broken up. We're down to 42 seconds in the double minor, so the Blues absolutely need this kill right now, down 2 goals. Wyand uses his skating ability to get away from the first checker, but the Blues showing some good persistence on the forecheck. And across, unimpeded, coming across the line is the Halifax Hawks. Joseph Rimmer shoots a good tip in front there. Yeah, I think he got a piece as well. That was Jacob Parker going to the net. If nothing else, he screened the goalie, as you say, but great job by Lefebvre to stick with that and make the save and hold with 16 seconds rather left in the double minor.
Yeah, it was the line he gave it to the wrong team there.
There you go. A lot of times it's pretty easy with the gloves and stuff, but the stick, not so much. The gloves usually match. And
I'm always concerned, especially at this level, how many spare sticks do they got?
Yeah, I'd say they probably have 2, but they might have 3, but might have to.
You know, and if you're a lefty, do you get the 1 spare?
Well, I've actually had a situation in the Sports Swappers tournament a couple of years ago where the guy was 6'9" and he broke his stick. He was like Chera's size.
Yeah, like what you got to
None of the guys had a stick that he could use,
Yeah.
and he had to go off.
Yep.
He just left the ice in disgust. It's like, well, when you're bigger than everybody else, you best have some sticks for yourself.
You best have brought your own gear.
Because mine is not going to help you at 5'10".
Like if you've got a size 15 skate, you can't ask for someone else's skate to wear, right? If your
Correct.
blade comes off.
Sear takes a good pass, and he heads up through. Van Rensburg makes a good play to head him off, and the Blues will have a chance to
Penalty's
clear it.
over.
Yes, absolutely. Good kill, big kill there, as Halifax is now 0 for 3. Bedford 0 for 2. So the special teams, or the penalty kill specifically, we're going to have a trip here against
yeah,
the
they're
Blues.
going to go right back.
Yeah, it's going to be Liam Lateria will go off for tripping here at 9:24, and that's going to give Halifax their 4th opportunity. Playing with fire a little bit.
I feel like and that was Brock making the call again?
Yep, it was.
I feel like Brock loves that tripping call.
Oh, yeah.
That is some gusto on those calls.
Hey, you know what? They teach us to emphasize them because it removes the doubt. If you're emphatic with your call, even if you're really not emphatic in your head.
Like, I'm not really sure it was a trip, but I'm showing this was a super trip.
That's right. Especially for linesmen on the line. You make that wave off or you make that call, that whistle and point with authority.
It's all about confidence.
Sell that, sucker.
Yep.
Sell that.
But I'm like, at that point, you've already called it. Like, you know.
Yeah.
People believe you at that point. You're basically telling the guy in the score booth that this is the call.
Listen, the guys are being supervised this weekend, and I don't. And
I suppose, yeah.
I don't believe for a second that they're going to change how they act out there.
No one's sandbagging today.
But it's the semifinals and the finals, and it's judged by merit. I'll tell you how it works as a former assigner and a guy who's worked these games. It's not about everybody getting their turn when you get to the semifinals and the finals. It's done by merit.
Oh, no, absolutely.
And the officials are out there. They're the best officials available at the time, and they get the call. And they've done a very good job.
Oh, no, absolutely.
But I do love a crisp call that sells it.
I especially love it like when it's a goal or no goal. You know, they're not timidly kind of pointing. No, that's it.
McDonald, great pass down low. He found his man through the seam.
Yeah, the D is kind of missing some coverage on that back end, so
yeah, that was
Halifax is opening up.
I believe Lachlan McKay, his jersey kind of rides up there. Yeah, number 6. He went into the seam, and he was found beautifully there. And again, credit Lefebvre. He's keeping his team in this. It's still only 2-0. 25 seconds left in the power play. Wyandy fires that puck. Played out. Up to the point. Saquon. Sushen Kwan. My apologies, young man. He has 2 goals, and I can't even get his name right.
That's okay.
If he
There's a lot of names you haven't gotten
that's
right.
If he listened to enough games, he'd know.
Yeah.
It's not personal. It's
right?
just that's just who I am.
Listen to some Mariner games, bud. Don't worry, you're not the only one.
That's right, buddy.
It's almost a special treat to have your name butchered by Jeff.
That's right. I mean it with much love.
Exactly.
And the Mariners now are there's a lot. The Mariners that the MJHL is now. There's a lot more French players.
Yep.
And that complicates it even more for an Anglophone who tries to do justice to their name.
Nice to see they're strengthening the farm system there.
Well, that comes from. I don't need to get into it too heavy.
No. Yeah.
The Quebec League only has room for 4 overagers. And the MHL has room for 8. So teams make decisions on guys when they're the overagers, and sometimes they end up coming back to the MHL, and the teams draft accordingly.
Yep.
Because they get guys that have 100 points in the queue, come here, and all of a sudden, and the MHL is a place where, and a lot of these kids will try to get to the MHL and to the queue that are playing today, and there'll be guys watching here. I was just talking to Johnny Murphy,
nice pick on that one.
assistant manager of the Yarmouth Mariners, and I'm sure he's up there watching to see which ones of these kids are looking to possibly be playing major U18, I guess it is.
Down low, big second chance on that rebound.
Absolutely. I think that was Quan looking for his hat-trick goal, and another save by Lefebvre. He gave up a weak one early, but he's been very good.
Yes, and that one certainly hung with him.
Quan, oh, now see, the guy has no stick, and he reaches out. Now, usually when you see a free hand, that was 2 free hands. Usually you'll see, but again, they're trying to stay out of it as much as they can.
And as long as they're not grabbing and pulling, you can get your hands on him, but once you like restrict and you see that, then the call will come. We're going to get icing here.
Yeah, Ripley finds the glass just in front of the timekeeper's bench. Otherwise, someone on the Blues bench would have been scattering, but it's going to go for icing. It'll come all the way deep, and we'll get a replay here. Shot on goal.
Big
You
rebound
see
there.
Lefebvre, he makes
Nice
one
kick out.
save, and then good adjustment to get across. Staying in, keeping himself square, reaching out with the long legs that he possesses. Thank you for that replay, Josh. You're the man, buddy.
Oh, don't start getting his ego up.
JR's buying you supper for that.
Well, technically, I'm buying his supper because he's part of the team, but you know, don't make it worse.
Good chance in front there. Bedford player gets spilled, but I think he was the player trying to knock the guy down, and he just got out-strengthed on the play. It comes all the way down in front of Yee.
Now,
and
that hit was not needed. Like, the
Yeah.
player was drifting in. There was no intent there.
Yeah,
You just get a little overzealous on that.
He was belted before he even made contact with the goalie. He may have been going in there with the intent to, and we'll see if any penalties come on that. And
Nothing should.
Faceoff's going to go outside, so that means they've ruled that the defenseman for the Blues,
Yeah, like
they stepped in past the hash marks, and the back referee's job there is to keep an eye on that. He's tried to discourage the players from all getting involved in the scrum or the fracas after the whistle.
so many bells. So many bells, not enough whistles,
Yeah.
and none of them are cowbells. That's disappointing.
Yeah, they're not the old school ones.
Right.
Sear cuts across. Thought he might pass. It's a good shot on goal. Lefebvre makes the save. Rebound bounces behind the net. Oh, a couple of good shots there. It's getting aggressive.
Well, yeah, it's under 5 minutes. They know their tournament life is on the line here. I don't know if that, well, they're going to call icing. The D-man could have made a play on that. He gave up. I don't like the icing call, but it is what it is. Like, he even turned to the inside of the ice. He could have reached out and stopped that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say it. But, yeah. Normally I would say it.
Exactly. Redwood battling along the boards. Good job to keep that in. Time is the friend right now, the Hawks, so as long as they keep it in this zone.
Also, are you sure you're not a doctor?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I could write you a prescription, buddy. Yeah. The only thing missing is me not writing with crayon.
Right? Like, there you go.
There you go.
Blues really need one here. They got an opportunity 2-on-2. They're just going to send and chase.
Chipped up along the boards. It's time for all hands on deck here. I might even see the goalie come out here maybe around the 3-minute mark.
You'd have to have some serious zone control.
They need a goal.
They do
they're
need
desperate,
a goal.
right? So,
but they've not had consistent zone control enough to take the goalie out.
correct.
So.
If it was an NHL game, you would probably see. In fact, last night my Canadians were playing the Flyers. This same situation. The goalie comes out with 3 minutes left.
And that's fair.
But that's a different level,
Oh,
as
absolutely.
you say. You have more confidence in the zone control, and it's a calculated gamble. But
nice try down low, trying to pack that
absolutely.
in. Corner pinch.
Chisholm with a good play. And
Cross. You got to go across with that.
Yee's been very strong. He's only faced 16. I say only, but there's been some quality ones.
Just because we've had 50 shot games
Yeah,
before.
exactly. The last game, the goaltender was he stood on his head and gave up 4, but I think the final tally was around 55. So.
And that was their best opportunity and chance in a long time. And friendly fire there as a collision.
Yeah. And when two guys bump into each other as teammates, they didn't see it coming, so it can be dangerous.
It's the worst one because you're not expecting the hit, you're not prepared, and then you can get awkward.
But nothing came of it, luckily. So glad to see both guys popped right back up.
2 minutes 17 left.
Absolutely. Now it's incumbent on the Blues to get this puck deep, get the goalie out, and get a goal to get some life back. Hawks smartly just play it in deep from just inside the center ice. Parker plays that deep. Sear dumps it in. The Blues.
Hawks playing with a whole lot more energy right now.
The Blues are having trouble breaking. It's just, and you know what, this is a lot of, you do teach it, but there's also that absolute just determination by the forecheckers. They're like dogs on that puck right now. Good play there by number 18, Lucas Wyand. He dumps that deep and then comes, and you see him cycle back. Am I the only guy? Okay, my partner's going to go in. I'm going to stay high. There's no reason to send two guys down below the goal line right now. You can see it's almost.
That's where the Hawks have played smartly, and the Blues have
absolutely.
just not been on the same pace.
Absolutely. So down to 1:15. They're not pulling the goalie.
Yeah, it was offside. He turned around. He was ahead of the puck.
So we might see a timeout and a goaltender pull here.
Well,
Or
if they win
maybe-
the face-off and go in, you might take the chance on that.
Well, at this time, at this point, you've got nothing to lose.
Well, technically you have the game to lose, but I know what you mean. But you look at the score, and it's a 2-0 game, but without that early goal
That's
that
right.
went in, this is a one-goal game, and
that's
it would
right.
be much tighter.
And there's the timeout I talked about. The goalie's going to come over, get instructions. Whether they leave him in, the faceoff isn't deep, but it is in just outside of the line. If it was at center ice, it would be another story too.
I'd be at the face-off hash marks, no matter what,
Good
as
call,
the Blues
JR.
goalie, yeah.
Yeah, I would be way out.
Oh, yeah.
And-
I'm like a third D at this point. Am I in or am I off?
So it was the Blues that made that timeout call.
Oh, yeah, the Hawks don't need it. They are rolling well. They're playing strong.
So
Blues might even be tired at that point. You're not going to give them the break.
So the Hawks, on the strength of 2 goals by Kwan. The first goal
They're
was
going to go full 6.
the first goal was unassisted. The second goal was assisted by Rimmer and McDonald. Sorry, Kalen McDonald. And here we go. 1:12 left. Face-off dropped in. The Hawks, they fired it. You can see the tip. It didn't matter. It wouldn't have been icing anyway. It goes in the net.
I can't understand why they didn't play a man back. They put the extra man on the far wing.
And the Hawks celebrate. They go up 3-0, and they know they're going to meet against another crosstown rival in the Sackville Flyers this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Great battle here. The Bedford Blues played their hearts out.
Like, you're at their blue line. You can't all commit. You've got to have a man back to protect against that very thing. Like, you leave the goalie at the hash marks or anything. If you win the face-off, you swap and you're pulling into the zone. And if you lose the face-off, he's there for that, long shot pass. Sadly, works out against Bedford. And like you said, Halifax looks to be a lock now. This is about when you'd wager for the win. You're pointing out something, which is
The 2 goalies. I love the backup goalie came
okay.
off the bench, came over to talk to his buddy.
well, solid game for them, right?
This time out, this call was more about talking to his players. Okay,
yeah.
guys.
Yep.
I don't want to see a suspension. I don't want to see any talking, shooting off at the mouth,
No
slashing
baits,
guys.
no nothing. Yep.
If they're gonna bait you, if they're gonna hit you, you're gonna turn your head and you're gonna take it.
Yep.
Because we got a game this afternoon for the provincial title, and I believe I can't quote that, but I'm telling you, in my belief is that that's what the coaching staff was saying. Okay, guys.
Well, because your energy's high. Like, you just scored again, and
Yep.
then their frustrations are going to be high.
We don't have to do anything right now except play this clock out.
And you got 4 men deep. Like, they're not going in.
Absolutely. And the goalie was left in.
I would hit
rightly
red
so.
line here and just send it in.
The player just lost his. Yeah, that's the butt end of his stick. He just needs to tape it up a little bit. That's the little plastic cap there. As I say, these composite sticks, when you cut them, they're pretty sharp.
There you go. Bang that back in.
Yeah, but usually when you tape it, you put a little tape overlap it to
Yeah,
make it stay in
you
there.
wrap
right?
it on top. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, kids with the boards down there. Yeah, have fun. Okay.
47 seconds left. The Hawks will get that out to center ice.
I wouldn't even chase for a goal. Like, if I hit center ice, just
Oh,
send
no,
it in.
no,
Yep.
no. This is all about this afternoon, getting to 2 o'clock. And that's what it looks like they've done. 33 seconds left. Congratulations to the Blues on their fine tournament. And
I think that kid's top came off again. I just saw something slide
I've
down
seen
here.
it. I've seen one on the ice about 4 times today. So
Clears out. That should almost do it. The Blues will get another chance to at least clear the goose egg.
Sear will just dump that out and down to 16 seconds. As my partner tries to jinx the young goaltender.
I am not trying to jinx it. I am just saying, you know, the Blues would like to get on the board. You take that moral victory. There's some hits down after the whistle. 18's not fighting.
No, that's right. Skate away, turn away. Just I want you to keep
Good
your
job
eyes.
from 18. Yep.
Keep your eyes on him because you don't want to get suckered or anything. But
Well, hey, you're wearing a full cage.
it doesn't matter. You know, you don't want to put your. But skate away. Get out of there.
No good on him.
Congratulations to both
And
teams.
they're going to escort that player off, so
Yeah.
no shenanigans at the line.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I believe he got a misconduct, so that it's really irrelevant at this point. But that's good game management, as they say by the officials.
Yep.
Don't have someone that's hot under the collar out there. And I can tell you, I've done a game in what we used to call midget hockey in Provincials here in our old barn, and as a linesman, and they just started fighting. They in the handshakes, and we were saying, "Come on, you're going to get suspended." And the guys are saying, "I don't care. This is my last game in minor hockey."
And
so
that's the worst
I'm
part, right?
getting
Yep, that is the worst part.
Yeah, so anytime there's a guy causing some trouble or he's hot under the collar, as I say,
Yep.
I don't want to demean any of the young guys that are out there playing, the young kids that are out there playing, because they're under 15, and so.
So when are the finals?
The finals are at 2 p.m. and it will be the Sackville Flyers. They will get the home team advantage as the 1 seed, and they will play the number 2 seed Halifax Hawks, who will be the visitors.
Game number 21, Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart gets Offensive Player of the Game. He did create some chances. That's for the Blues.
And the Defensive Player of the Game for Bedford is number 4, Ethan McAvoy.
Ethan McAvoy. Congratulations, young man. Gets Defensive Player of the Game.
For the Halifax Hawks, the Offensive Player of the Game, number 10, Doric Kwan.
Kwan with both of the goals that were not in an empty net. Great effort by him, and
the Defensive
he gets
Player
Offensive
of the
Player of the Game.
Number 1, Tayden Yeh.
And Taven Yee, played very well, gets the shutout, gets the Defensive Player of the Game.
Congratulations to the Halifax
And congratulations
Hawks, who
to
advance
him,
to
and
the final
they'll pose
game
for a picture,
later
which is a
today.
great touch. I love what the tournament
Now it is
organizing committee
time
has done. They post these on the
present
Facebook
bronze
site
medals
after
to
every
the third
game.
place team in this tournament, the Bedford Blues.
PA address announcer Kevin Northup congratulating
Number
the
1,
Bedford Blues
Alec
for coming
Ewan
down and playing a good
McLeod.
tournament. Of course, we wish them safe travels
Number
back
2,
to Bedford.
Ben Vino.
They'll get a silver medal here. So we'll have that
Number
those
3,
we handed
Liam
out right now.
Lateria.
Sorry, a bronze medal.
Number 4, Ethan McAvoy. Number 5, Aiden Van Rensburg.
Oh, that's not what they're doing now. I don't know what the medals are for right now. Maybe
Number
they're going
6,
to announce
Levi Harris.
some of the teams that are leaving, if they're members
Number
of the
7,
All-Star
Aiden
team or they're
Knowles.
getting a personal award.
Number 8, Owen Chisholm. Number 9, Ryan Quigley.
Oh, they're getting the bronze.
Number
Okay.
10, Noah Gallant.
So they were ruled the third place team. So they are
Number
getting
11,
bronze medals.
Fisher
I
Schneer.
wasn't sure. I didn't see them putting it, but they are grabbing them, as
Number
you can see.
14,
So
Spencer
congratulations to
McQueen.
Bedford. Third place in the province is not a shabby accomplishment.
Number 17, Drew Cameron. Number 18, Evan Vaders. Number 19, Jake Matheson. Number 21, Jonathan Stewart. And number 31, JP LaFave. Head coach, Ryan McKenzie. Assistant coaches, Mike Lawrence and Andy Knowles. And manager, Andre LaFave. Fans, once again, make some noise for your third place team in this tournament, the Bedford Blues.
A nice round of applause for the Bedford Blues.
We've got a great championship final coming up at 2 o'clock. It's going to be the Sackville Flyers
So as
against
the
the
PA address
Halifax
announcer
Hawks,
says,
right
2
here at
o'clock.
Mariner Center.
We would love you to join us here on MC Media. I thank you for watching this game. The Halifax Hawks will be the visiting team. They will play their crosstown rivals, the Sackville Flyers, the home team, and we will be here to bring it to you for John Surrett and our volunteers at MC Media. I'm Jeff McGray. We're going to sign off, and we'll see you at 2 o'clock for the championship game, U15AAP Provincials here at Mariner Center in Yarmouth. Thank you for watching, everybody. Guys bump into each other as teammates. And here we go. 1:12 left. Face-off dropped in. The Hawks, they fired it. You can see the tip. It didn't matter. It wouldn't have been icing anyway. It goes.